What if I told you the most beautiful building in the world was born from unimaginable grief? That an emperor, one of the most powerful men alive, watched his wife die in his arms, and then spent over 20 years building her a tomb so breathtaking, it would become one of the 7 wonders of the world? This isn't just a monument. It's a love story, a political drama, a tragedy, and a final act of devotion that cost an empire more than we realize. But here's what most people don't know. The Taj Mahal wasn't just built for love. It was built because a broken man didn't know how else to survive. There are love stories. And then there is this love story. A story of devotion and power, of partnership and heartbreak, of grief so profound that it reshaped the skyline of an empire. This is the love story behind the Taj Mahal. In 1607, inside the glittering Mughal court of India, a 15-year-old prince met a young girl who would alter the course of his life and history. The prince was Shah Jahan, then known as Prince Khurram. He was the grandson of the great Emperor Akbar and heir to one of the wealthiest empires in the world. He had been raised in luxury, trained in warfare, politics, literature, and the delicate art of imperial rule. The girl he met that day was Arjumand Banu Begum. She was not merely beautiful, though she was said to be striking. She was intelligent, poised, and born into influence. Her father was a high-ranking nobleman in the Mughal court. Her aunt was Empress Nur Jahan, one of the most powerful women in Mughal political history. This was no ordinary courtship. It was the meeting of 2 futures shaped by empire, a union that carried both romance and destiny. And according to legend, it was love at first sight. The young prince and Arjumand Banu Begum were betrothed that very year. But in the world of royalty, love bowed to politics. Alliances required patience. Strategy demanded time. 5 long years would pass before they were finally permitted to marry. Years of waiting that only strengthened the bond that had begun in a single, unforgettable glance. In 1612, they were finally married. He gave her a new name, Mumtaz Mahal, meaning chosen one of the palace. And unlike many royal marriages of the time, theirs was not distant or symbolic. It was deeply personal. Mumtaz was highly educated in Persian literature, diplomacy, and court governance. She understood the machinery of empire, she understood influence, and she understood her husband. When Shah Jahan rose to the throne in 1628, Mumtaz became empress, but she did not disappear behind palace walls. She traveled with him across the empire, even on military campaigns. She lived in royal tents among soldiers instead of remaining in the safety of court. She was present in imperial councils. She was entrusted with the imperial seal, giving her authority to issue documents in the emperor's name. That level of trust was extraordinary. She bore him 14 children and 19 years of marriage. 14. Through rebellion, political tension, and war, she remained beside him. European visitors to the Mughal court wrote about their visible closeness, how the emperor openly valued her presence in council. He sought her advice. He showed affection. He relied on her judgment. For Shah Jahan, Mumtaz was not simply a wife. She was his confidant, his anchor, his equal. Their love was not forged in comfort. It was forged in uncertainty. In 1631, the Mughal Empire was on campaign in the Deccan. The royal encampment stretched for miles near the city of Burhanpur, a moving city of silk tents, soldiers, elephants, banners, and burning torches. War drums echoed faintly in the distance. And inside one of those royal tents, Mumtaz Mahal went into labor. It was not unusual. She had done this 13 times before, but this time was different. The labor was long, agonizing, complicated. Hours passed. The sounds of the bustling camp quieted as word spread. Something was wrong. Outside the tent, Shah Jahan waited. The most powerful man in India, commander of vast armies, ruler of unimaginable wealth. And yet, he was utterly powerless. Inside, physicians worked desperately. Midwives whispered prayers. Oil lamps flickered against embroidered silk walls. The air was thick with incense and fear. Just before dawn, their 14th child, a daughter, was born. But Mumtaz was fading. Shah Jahan was called inside. He sat beside her. He held her hand. Some accounts say she asked him to promise 3 things: to care for their children, to never remarry for love, and to build something beautiful in her memory. She died in his arms. She was 38 years old. Outside, the empire continued to breathe. But for Shah Jahan, the world went silent. Her body was temporarily laid to rest in Burhanpur. Shah Jahan withdrew from public life for nearly a year. When he finally emerged, court historians recorded a transformation. His hair had turned gray. His face appeared lined. His posture stooped. The emperor who once embodied grandeur now embodied grief. And in his mourning, a vision began to form. In 1632, construction began in Agra. Over 20,000 artisans, calligraphers, stonecutters, and craftsmen were summoned from across the empire and beyond. White marble was transported from Rajasthan, jade and crystal from China, turquoise from Tibet, lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, sapphires from Sri Lanka. Every stone was chosen with intention. Verses from the Khurram were inscribed in flowing black calligraphy. Delicate floral patterns were carved and inlaid with precious gems. The gardens were designed to symbolize paradise, symmetrical, serene, eternal. At the center of it all lay Mumtaz Mahal's tomb. The structure was perfectly balanced, perfectly aligned, perfectly luminous. It was not merely a tomb. It was grief transformed into architecture. It was devotion carved into stone. But the love story did not end there. In 1658, Shah Jahan's own son, Aurangzeb, seized power. The emperor was imprisoned in Agra Fort, directly across the Yamuna River from the Taj Mahal. From a small marble window, Shah Jahan could see the monument he had built for his beloved wife. For 8 years, he lived there, a ruler reduced to a spectator, gazing at the white dome in the distance. When he died in 1666, he was buried beside Mumtaz. For the first time, the perfect symmetry of the Taj Mahal was broken, because his tomb was placed next to hers. And perhaps that imperfection makes it even more human. Today, millions visit the Taj Mahal every year. They come for photographs, for architecture, for wonder. But beneath the marble dome lies a profoundly human story. A story of young love, of partnership through uncertainty, of unbearable loss, of remembrance. And that is the love story behind the Taj Mahal.